Hey guys, what's going on? We got another Enhancement Shaman PvP video. We are doing threes. We are Totemic Storm. We're doing threes with Shook and Plum. Unholy DK, Enhancement Shaman, Holy Paladin. Not the greatest comp, but you know, it's what we got. And it's got a 2-minute setup with blind static cleave, playing very similar to comp you might know as Draco Cleave. Basically going for that blind stun combo. But anyways, this first matchup, we're playing against Affliction Warlock and Shadow Priest, so we're going to go after the Shadow Priest for the most part, but that doesn't mean he's the only target. But anyways, about the rework of the Enhancement Shaman, so far everything does feel better, but we're definitely still lacking a whole lot because we don't have the movement speed to catch people. That's still an issue. Although our damage has slightly increased, it's still not to a point where I would say it makes enhancement completely viable, right? Currently, there are other classes out there that do significantly more with significantly less effort. And that would be Feral Druids and, you know, your Assassination Rogues and stuff like that. Their damage is just beyond something else. I don't know what's going on with them. Then you also have Hunters and stuff like that. But anyways, it is what it is. We've been dealing with that for quite a while. Nothing's changed. Enhancements is still low on the tier list. But we're going after the Affliction Warlock here. As much damage as possible. Get double feared is what it is. He gates out away. Plum grips him right back in. I drop a cap totem, get him stunned. There is Doom Winds popping some big damage, trying to get anything I can. Goes for the Shadow Fury and gets it, unfortunately. There's the bop, so I sit there spamming Purge. And then here's where a Psyfiend is going to pop up on me, and I don't notice it at all. I should have. Right here is when I go after the Paladin, I start to notice it. So I start slowly walking over to it, kill it real quick, and get back to the group. Doing as much as I can. There's another precog on the Warlock. I don't know what's going on with casters, but it feels almost impossible to kick them right now. I don't know why, but they always seem to juke right as I'm about to kick. I don't know. But anyways, here we swap to the priest for a couple seconds and we get him to use sacrifice on the priest, which is very big. So then we're back on the warlock. There's Undying Resolve, but he's still low. The paladin is struggling. Plum grips him in, gets a nice triple sleet. I drop a cap totem, drop my totem. Bloodlust, Ascendance, big damage. Block ports out, so we just quickly switch to the Holy Paladin. Bam. Goes down. So that's where the benefit of this comp goes. But again, it's a 2-minute rather than a 1-minute like Draco Cleave, so it definitely struggles more. Anyways, Affliction, Elemental, very similar thing. We're going to go after the Affliction Warlock because you can't really shut down an Elemental Shaman. And you know, it's just better to hit an Affliction Warlock in the end anyways to shut down his damage. Elemental Shamans also saw a rework and they're doing absurd amounts of damage, but we got his wall. The Warlock gates out into the open, which is very odd, so we start going after him. Here, he gets up. He's standing kind of on a wall here, gets silenced, and he jumps over the wall, so it's like, okay, I'm going to hug this wall and have the Ellie Shaman, you know, LOS from him. You get a huge amount of damage here on the dragon. I should have pressed lasso earlier. I was trying to dip behind the wall to try and prevent getting interrupted. There's a hex out on Shook, so I go ahead and dispel that right away. And then we're back on the Affliction as per usual, doing as much damage as possible. Here he ports out. Okay, we just chase right after him. We got freedom. Horrified is what it is. Still on him. As much damage as possible, right? And right here I get polyed. D-guard now. Not to worry. Start chasing around the corner. I have Doom Winds up. Nobody's hitting me. Hit the dragon for a second just because he's right there at my face. Scare him a little bit. Warlock starts pushing on the Shook for some reason. So here, get him. Lasso, I get polyed on it, but Plum's got a nice double blind, so I use Sunder to stall them a bit extra just so Cap Totem goes off, and we get the Warlock down. But yeah, that's essentially our win condition, is the Cap Totem stun with the blind every minute. and it's very not fun to get off, but when it does, it feels pretty good sometimes. On to the next match, we have a Thundercleave with a Windwalker Monk. This one was a bit, you know, much better to play against than anything else, I have to say. But I mean, it's still, I'd rather fight melee cleaves at this point. But here we get a nice triple stun. The monk trinkets the blind, but still get the cap totem off. Back off just a second. Monks do have a ranged disarm, but he didn't seem to run it. So I walk right back in, getting that Doom Winds value due to its new ability being able to AoE affect things, which is quite nice. So we start getting back in there. Our full focus is going to be on the Ellie Shaman, just because you might as well chase after an Ellie Shaman and cleave the monk with it, rather than just sit there and hit the monk. But here, the Paladin's pushing in a lot on Shook. He's playing right on top of him, which is both beneficial and against him at the same time, because Shook can CC him. And here, Shook gets a nice rep on the Holy Paladin, so we get a lot of pressure on them. We get him down to half. Pretty sure they must have used a cooldown here. I'm not really sure. I can't tell. I don't see sacrifice or anything on them. But he starts running away. And so I switch to the monk just for a second because I can't catch the Ellie Shaman, so I might as well hit something, right? There's karma. It is what it is. Lasso the healer for a second. Don't get anything. There's a blind. Drop a cap totem. Stun all of them. And I have double cap totem, keep in mind, so after the first one goes, the second one comes in. And we get a huge amount of value out of that. But, you know, that wasn't our full go. So our next go is going to be a big one. So we're just trying to stall out waiting for that. So I go ahead and interrupt his healing surge. Probably would have been better off waiting for the Paladin to cast something, but I didn't feel like he was ever going to. But there, his wall is over. So now we have a full rain ready for our next setup. Just waiting for it. There's Bloodlust, huge amount of damage coming out to us. There's Sacrifice, a whole bunch of damage. We are taking everything there. I get the rep interrupted. Make sure he can't do anything. Sunder the next one. Make sure he can't do anything. He's also very, very low. There, Plum grips him in. Silences. We don't get a huge amount, but I haven't even popped cooldowns. And there we go. We get him. So if we didn't get him down there, it would have been the next blinded sleep that I think would have taken them out anyways. Because, yeah, I would have had Ascendance and Doom Winds ready to roll. But yeah, the new Ascendance feels great. If you notice, I have crazy hair Ascendance too. I know, it's just for the memes. It's hilarious, going Super Saiyan like that. But here, we're against Jungle Cleave with a Marksman Hunter. Our focus is going to be getting on top of this Marksman Hunter as fast as possible, because he's going to be doing all the damage. So you can see here, we're getting a little bit of setup. There's the Ascendance, Doom Winds, big damage on this Hunter. I don't even care that he has wall up or anything like that. I'm just going right through it, and we take him out. Right through Turtle too. He got too low, and the dots took him out. So absolutely just ran him over. Here we got a Windwalker demo lock. This one, kind of similar. They all grouped up together for us, so we didn't have to try very hard. So we got a blind, Bloodlust, pop everything, and just wail on whoever's closest. Warlock gets gripped right back in, so we start hitting him again. And we get a huge amount of value here. Sunder to stagger them. There's the link, very, very early, which is huge. So that means they have nothing else to save, so next 2 minute would be most likely a kill. But here I had a Voltic Blaze, so huge damage. Voltic Blaze mixed with Totemic is doing massive amount of damage. There I go and lasso the healer, but he had static down, unfortunately. So I didn't really get anything out of that. The Warlock's pushed around the corner, gets gripped right back into the group. So we get right on top of him, start hitting him again, using Crash to funnel even more Storm Strike damage. And just getting all of this damage into this Warlock, because we don't want him casting whatsoever. The more we can cancel out his cast, the better. So here, the Monks gets us in a bit of CC, getting a huge amount of damage. I see the Blinding Sleep, so I drop a Cap Totem, jump right in. There's a Sunder. I start hitting the Monk because I know he has nothing, and take him out. I knew he had nothing, so I knew he would fall over. But anyways, on to the next match, and the final match, we have Resto Affliction Assassination. Assassination rogues are absolutely terrifying right now. So I'm just sitting LOS, stopping. I don't want this rogue to touch me until Shook is out of CC. So I am just running around the pillar, waiting. There, he uses cloak as well, so the rogue is an absolute target right now. He has no cloak. He only has evasion left, so if we get that, it's very, very easy for us to take him out. So here is where the scary part comes in. So he's on Shook. He's got King's Bane going on him. The Warlock starts popping off here. I'm popping off as well. Getting a huge amount of damage. Switch to the Rogue. You can just see he just flopped. He basically just flopped. But I am taking so much damage right now. I can't even wall or anything like that. Very, very close to dying. So we thankfully we recover. I don't know what's with rogues or if that was the Warlock. I don't know, but that was terrifying. So I go ahead, lasso, there's the Warlock kick. Shook can now cast for free, no worries. So drop a cap, totem, sunder. Plum saw that, grips the druid right in, gets a huge amount of damage. I get stone bulwark at the last second, very last second, and then we're back on the Warlock doing as much damage as possible. Druid's in on us, so I give Shook a little spot heal there, trying to help him out. I'm hitting whatever I can, get back on top of this Warlock, trying to do as much damage as possible. You can just see they're all stacked up, which is very easy for us because we do a lot of cleave damage, so it's quite nice. There's Doom Winds round 2, and we just start getting onto this Warlock. It's just unhealable amount of damage for this druid. But yeah, guys, that is it for this video. I hope you're enjoying the new rework for Enhancement Shaman. Thanks so much for watching, and hopefully I'll see you in the next one. Laters!